Good morning and sliding in afternoon. Have to tell you, I hope my techie is watching the live today because as I was setting up, I had to turn off all lighting just so you can see what we're working on today. Because we've got a new camera and I don't know, we played around with it on Sunday once all the parts we needed a bolt to hold it in. And like the thing right in here because the one from the old camera wouldn't work. But anyway, so I had zero light. So just before I went live, I was trying to use my phone, right? Got a flashlight on my phone, trying to see my hands and what I could see. And come to find out that my phone actually gave me light without wiping out all colors. So the new camera, if I put on lights in the room, any kind of lights, right, it was wanting to wash out everything that I was going to be creating today. So actually, using my phone right before we went live, my phone seemed not to be a problem. So here's the stand to give the support so the phone doesn't fall over. With the phone over there. So God loves me, my husband loves me, my family loves me. So there you go. The world didn't end because I can look outside and see that the world is still here. So there you go. So right, it's like don't sweat the small stuff. However, my techie is going to have to get me out of the dark because I do not like creating in the dark. If you ask any of my friends, anybody that's been over the house crafting at nighttime, it looks like daylight. That's how much light I have on and how bright it is. So for me to be in the dark like this, I feel like I'm really in the dark. So let's go down the hands. Let me give you a sneak peek of the retreat that we're creating. And then I also pulled a couple of things out too to show you. And then we're gonna make the two cards we're gonna make today. That's free kits to go. So we're gonna go down the hands here and get us down in a combo. So yes, so and the other thing is got to adjust for is the camber from combo, right? It just sort of shifts maybe an inch or two, right? So it's just adjusting for that for something that's new. So if you're a person that likes sneak peeks, here's what we got. The retreat is coming up. Yeah, so what we try to do is what I create on lives for you, I also try to incorporate into the retreats if I can, as well as into a free class to go. And this, if you missed it, this was actually came out Sunday. This is the first week of Christmas of our 12 weeks of Christmas, and it's got the tutorial there. And I love this ribbon. I'm not even gonna undo the bow because I like the way the bow came out too. So I just use that to wrap to hold this down. Here's our cute little gingerbread that we made a card out of as well. And then when you open this up, here's our treat holder. So I've left enough space. So this was actually, the tutorial was in the email on Sunday. So the shadow here is from my phone. So techie, pay attention. I'm creating shadow, but at least I can see. Or see better than I could. Shouldn't say I can't see the way I want to see, but I can see better than I could earlier. All right, so just imagine total darkness. Now that looks pretty good to you, but for me, it's like I can't see what I'm doing. So anyway, this is a treat holder. It'll hold Twinkies in here. It'll hold. I was trying to think of those little nutty buddy things and so forth, and also it'll hold a number of things. It'll hold a lot of chocolate. So if you're going to smile with chocolate, and I always like this too. I left this open because you can stamp and write here if you want to, and treat it just like a card and write a sentiment. And you can do something over here if you want to. I've actually done that before where I've stamped on it. Since this is already done, right, I would take a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock and size it down whatever you want to. Do your signature and just glue it on. Is how I would do it then. So it's already done. Then you just fold it back up and right there. And this was just a pink wash we put on here. So right, so if you want the tutorial, all you need to do is click on the newsletter in the notes that you want the newsletter and it'll get it to you. All right, so let me set this aside. All right, so I already gave you a sneak peek of the retreat. Now, what else I wanted to show you about retreat, doesn't matter which retreat, this one was part of a free class to go, and it was also part of the Halloween mystery box, right? So what we always do is, here's the example. We take pictures and do PDF tutorials. But the other thing that we do as well too that you don't realize, we actually put these and we actually categorize them. So in the retreat, we'll put all of like the Halloween together or all of the Thanksgiving together. Anyway, this one's for a customer that spent $35 and wanted to know if they could have the boo. So here we do is we cut everything up. This is already cut. Everything's already die cut. And here are the embellishments. So all she has to do is stamp a symbol, and you're just stamping on the inside because we already got Boo on the outside to glue on here. So that's one example. The other example I wanted to show you was, this was also in the mystery box, Halloween mystery box. And we also did this as part of our free kit to go for the 1st to 15th, I believe, of September. And yeah, it was either the first half or the second half. It didn't matter. Anyway, the customer wanted it, and I don't have a problem. As long as I have it or have material, I don't mind, right? So this is what it looked like, right? So if you saw, this is what it looked like, and we opened it, right? So we don't do the stamping, right? Now, I will. She doesn't have Velcro in there, but I'll get Velcros in there. But here we see we've already cut everything out. We've even got the embellishments, because there's two sets. There's one on the front and one on the inside. And then here was pre-die cut stuff. Now this, you'd have to cut, right? It's paper and it's built in, so you'd have to cut that. Fussy, what we call fussy cutting. But here's the rest of the materials. And this was already part of the boxes that you can make and get, so it's ready to go. So all we do is just package this up nice and neat in a package, just like we did with the envelope for the other, and it's ready to go. So if you want to know, that's exactly what we do retreat. We do for our classes to go. We die cut everything. We cut the paper, and then we even provide tutorials. So see, we've got the tutorial here. This one was lighter than what it looked, but we gave the details how to create it. And let's see, I think I took the other one out. Yeah, here was another one. So we actually, if I have a YouTube tutorial, I'll include the link in there, but we also give you all the details of how to make what we created, right? So when we do the retreat, you have two choices to go, right? You can get it in a box to go, to do it at your own time or with some friends or whatever. Or you can do it live with us. You have choices, right? So that's what it's all about. So let's get to today, because today we're going to take what we just showed you, especially with the gingerbread, and we're going to make a couple of cards here. So again, it's all about choices, right? I am not a machine. I'm not a machine. I make mistakes. I have to sleep. I have to go to the bathroom, right? I have to eat. I have to spend some quality time with the family, right? So I do other things as well too. So I don't know if, yeah, you can see it. That's what I'm going to see. All right, so I've actually cut two different ways, and it's all about choices, right? I like choices. I'm not doing everything the same unless somebody asks for it specifically, right? Yeah, but I haven't had anybody do that. So in this particular case today, I've done two different things. Same setup, but two different things, right? I've actually embossed this one here with the plaid embossing. And this one I embossed with words, Christmas words, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change a little thing. I already got this inside set up for us, and we embossed this. Now what I did too is I went ahead and stamped in advance. So I've got two different things. So these are actually from the Homemade Treat dies. It's a little cookie sheet, and we're going to be using this stamp. Let me show you. Yeah, Homemade Treat dies. So see, this is just the cookie sheet, and I hope I put it back. I did, right? It's got other things as well too. And we actually use that through the retreat to do some other things. Whoop, whoop. So what we're going to do is I wanted to show you two different ways, right? One is where we've just stamped on the sheet here, the baking sheet. And if you want to know what this is, it's not white ink. It's Versamark, which is clear. We sprinkle the white powder on it, right? And we tap off the excess, and then we use a heating tool to heat it up, and that's how you get the look that you get. All right, so just give you, that's the trick, right? It's not that it had white ink, that's how I did it. All right, so to create this to begin with, because we're gonna have choices here, is I went ahead and I took this, and I've got this on both sides, because I actually stamped on the inside, I stamped some candy canes, and I also stamped a little gingerbread. But first we're going to create the outside. So somebody came over yesterday. They were so excited about this. And it's really easy, right? So basically we're just stamping. We're just going to come and stamp and stamp. And we're not going to do it all the same, right? We're going to stamp off. And I forget that I have my glass. I have my glass mat here. I really don't want to get ink on my glass mat, because that's just Another opportunity for me to have to clean up something. And as much as I like everybody, I really don't like to spend my time cleaning. All right, so I'm just going to keep on stamping around. You know, it doesn't matter, right? The main thing is it's fun. As I was doing this, I was thinking, well, I'm actually saving myself some calories here by stamping gingerbreads instead of eating them. However, I can tell you, it did make me think about eating. All right. I think that's enough. You know, if you want to come back and stamp more, you can, right? It's always about choices. And I'm going to clean that stamp off. So yes, it's been a fun week, right? I've been working on the retreat. So we'll finish die cutting most stuff and everything today. Tomorrow we'll be doing all the pillow gifts. Sort of like, it's like a party gift, right? You never know what's going to be in there. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing tomorrow and getting things out in the mail on Friday. Okay, so I've stamped this here. I'm going to set it aside for the moment. Okay, now this one I actually sized down. This is actually a 3.5 by, well, maybe on my way, 4. All right, so I actually cut this down. And the reason for that is when you go and put this on, and we'll put it on right now. I'm going to just put it on with glue. See which one feels the most full. Okay. So the reason is, originally, you know, when I did this, and originally when the first time I made this one here, I was going to do the 4 by 5.25, right? Because it'll get you to see a lot of the little gingerbread person. But the thing is then you didn't get to see the embossing. And the embossing is really what helps it all pop, right? So sometimes you look at stuff and you're thinking, oh, wow, that looks really flat. Well, if you'll sit there and emboss some cardstock to go with it, it doesn't matter if it's the same color, right? I mean, this is not the same color, but I could have done the same color. But just by embossing some cardstock, you can sit up there and just give it a nice lift, a nice, or sometimes, right, it's just when we get to creating, it's like, man, that looks so flat, looks like it's missing something, needing something. So many times, if you just do some embossing, that'll just help a lot. All right, so here we go. We have each of these of 2. And I'm going to put them, I decided to put mine in the center. I had choices, right? Because I sized it down, I have choices. I can either put it up like this, right? I could center it. And it just depends on your preference. For me, I think the main thing is I'm looking at this. I wanted you to be able to see the words. I wanted to see the words to whoever I give this to. This one here is the same thing. I wanted to be able to see the plaid, right? Didn't have to see a lot of it, just some of it, right? Okay, when I showed you what I did for the retreat, here's what I did for the retreat, right? Okay, so I'm going to do something, I'm going to do similar. I like the red ribbon, right? To me, the red and white goes so good with the gingerbread, right? It reminds me of everything we see. So if you go out there right now and you look around, you will see they've already got Christmas stuff up and gingerbread is right there, right there. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to go around the middle. I'm going to leave myself enough room. So leave yourself enough room to tie a bow. In this particular case, I did a double bow. So you know what? I don't need that. I'm going to tie it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I do. Let me see if I did this 2 or 3 times. I think I did it 2 times. Looks like 2 times. All right. But I want to make sure I come all the way around over here 2 times also, right? So we're going to do it on the same, and we'll do the other one too. Now, when I was doing this, right, so it's all about what you want it to look like. So I wanted it to look like it was sort of gathered together, right? And I'm trying to keep up with if anybody's out there making comments or whatever. So I'm just going to come around here, and I'm going to tie this in a knot to the side, because I already know my pan's going to be right here in the middle. I'm going to scooch this down just a little bit. But just by tying this, and I don't care, square knot, however you want to do it, I'm going to tie this tight. And the reason is that I'm going to tie my bow on top of this. Now, if you don't want this to show, cover it. Okay, so if you don't want anybody to know that you sat there and tied a knot, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and tie this knot right here. Now the only thing is I want to make sure it's tight, right? I don't want to like it loosey-goosey. So I am going to take it right there, and I'm just going to make sure I get it tight right there, okay? Now if you're concerned about it moving, just tape it, all right? So what I mean by that is just take you some tear and tape, go over the spot where you know it's going to, so if I know this is where it's going to be, right? Then tape it. That's all you got to do. Nobody's going to know it's going to be hidden. This is just something I've learned from scrapbooking as well as sewing, right? It's like you hide your work. Okay, so now I can go ahead and at least put this on here with dimensionals, and I can make my bow. So we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. Yeah, so somebody was asking, it's like, well, this is where I do my creating, right? And I actually store some of my stuff here, especially my DSP. So I've worked on trying to move what I have from downstairs, some of it up here, and trying to centralize as much as possible. I would tell you, I enjoy crafting in my kitchen area because the lighting's super good, but you're right, it's because I'm always doing other things as well. I'm always like doing laundry, or I'm cooking, or whatever, sewing, right? If I sew, it's just the perfect area because I can like spread out. It's got all the counter space. Up here, we're working toward it, but there isn't counter space, right? Sometimes I just have to spread out. I'm going to center this one, and I think the other one I might move it up a little bit. And so I'm just going to center this right here. And then we have choices, right? We have two choices, and that's what I want to show you. We have either we can do it just like that, or we can do it like this here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this whenever I get dimensionals here. We're just going to glue this down. And then all we have left to do, and see, I want to show you this too. So when you're using the Versamark and the powder, the thing is, if you just slightly, like I was getting ready to heat emboss this. I'm glad I flipped this over. I was getting ready to heat emboss this, and I accidentally, my fingernail went right across it, just like I got ink on my hand. And it was like, okay, you know, so I didn't sweat it. It's like, all right, just swipe it all off. You can't do anything about it if you swiped off half of a word. And I just came on the other side and redid it, all right? So it's like, don't sweat the small stuff. I used to sweat that. Nowadays, it's like, that is so small compared to other things. If you need me to give you a comparison, let me know and I'll give you a comparison. But this is like nothing to sweat about. Like today, I didn't get all upset about the lighting, even though I wanted my lighting. And even though it looked great on the weekend, I do not know what happened between Techie leaving and me turning it on. But we'll figure it out, right? The way I figured, I've come a long ways from 5 years ago when I didn't like any kind of technology, oopses, or anything. And I get all bent out of shape, and today it's like, psst, it's a statistic. Take a number. So there you go. Alright, so we got this one here. And now I'm going to do my double bow. So to me, it is a little bit more challenging to do a double bow with this twine. I'm trying to see how much I think I'm going to need. I think about that. So it is. Because it's just tiny, right? But it still can be done. So I'm just going to do the same as I normally would. And I'm just going to wrap it around. I think I did this one a little bit bigger. Whether it's accidental or not, I don't know. And then, so see, I've got my two right there. Trying to make sure I didn't do a third one come over, but I didn't. I want to just make sure I get my two loops, right? It is super tiny. And then I'm just going to come up under here. I lost my loop. There we go. So I need to be able to come up under here, right? Because this is how I'm going to tie it off. I'm thinking. You know, to me, it's always incredible that when you're by yourself, right, and you're doing something, it is no big deal. I'm serious, no big deal. You come and do something live, and it's like, you're like, what is the difference? Okay, so this one might be a little bit bigger. Now see here, so I needed to go one more time. I wasn't sure, but it'll be okay. I'm just going to make this loop around like it looks like I did that deliberately. Right, because when I get through sending this in the mail to someone, they really don't know, right? Even I won't remember. So all I'm going to do is take this here. This is what I did the other day. when I did it for the retreat example and all, right? So we have to create examples. That's how you end up getting pictures for the tutorials. That's because you have to do the examples, right? You have to do the examples anyway to know how much material you're going to use and what you have to cut up for people. So then I just did a square again. I just trimmed it off like that. Now see, you're not going to know that because I am just going to simply trim this off, and it's just going to sort of flip-flop in there like I have an extra extension. So if you've ever made bows for your Christmas tree or whatever, right, you automatically leave some to come down. And I can trim right here if I want to. And I'll trim here again. Just keep it all in the card, right? Okay, so all I have left here, so I've got it right here. So all I have left to create with this is to then put some embellishments on here, right? Yes. And then we'll sit up there and we have the other one. So the other one's going to look the same but different, right? So everything's not being created exactly the same. And that's what I enjoy doing. So if you see something and I like it, right? I'm not going to go make 50 of them. But what I will do is I will sit there and give it a different look, right? So here's one look here with the words on it. And I'll stamp them all both in a minute. And then here's the second we're going to do. Now this one, again, it's the same thing. I'm just going to move it up a little bit, okay? And I have choices. I can either do this here, but I've got so much white space. I'm not. I'm going to put it just right up here. I'm going to put it with dimensionals. So you can see I've changed the look, right? Use the same techniques, but I'm changing the look just because of the fact that I changed the embossing folder. I feel like that game, right, where you got to figure out between two pictures what's different. So you don't have to guess. I'm going to show you. So, right, we changed this right here, I'm just going to lift it up. So instead of it being pulled down, I'm going to lift it up. And we're going to go ahead and get our, I'm still going to keep this in the center. I'm just going to lift the picture up itself, so it's not centered like I did on the other one. We're going to do the same thing over here, because I just want my bow over here, because I thought it looked best this way. And we're just going to come wrap around a couple times, right, to get that look right there. And trim it off. Okay. So right, I know it's you, but it's like, I feel like Christmas is knocking on my back door. Well, then I've also got the retreat going on, so right, it's a holiday retreat, so I definitely, in my house, I've got gingerbread going on, I have peace on earth going on, I have, I'm trying to think else in my mind, we got fall stuff going on, right, because the retreat has fall stuff in it too. I'm trying to think what else. Right, my mind's going on, I got candy canes, Christmas trees, it's like, yeah. And then I really got to decorate the outside of my house, right, with pumpkins and everything, because we will have 150 plus trick-or-treaters come by for Halloween, and I still have to get my pass it on scripture cards done too. So yeah, so if you're ever interested in that, they don't, I used to could get them, the pass it on cards, but I can't get them now. But there are people on eBay that actually does it, that you can sit there and print it out and cut it and use it. So that's what I'm going to do this year, because I really miss the fact that I used to always enjoy that. They would use the Halloween colors but do things like Jesus Loves Me and stuff like that. I really like that. Okay, and I might have to move that just a little. Yeah, let me move it up just a little. So yes, these are very forgiving, especially if you haven't like mashed them on yet or anything. It's very forgiving. If I have to, let me go put one on the bottom, because I'll have the ribbon going through the middle. That helps keep the ribbon in place too. In this particular case, I wouldn't need to sit there and tape it down unless I just wanted to. Alright, so that you can see this, I don't have to make my bow right now. I can come back and make my bow later. And then I'll show you what we're going to do on the inside. Alright. Yes, and I don't have a secret elf for anybody that comes and cleans up my mess. I actually get to clean up my own mess. Now, I'm actually going to center this. I don't have to center it. Alright, I could have off-centered it. That would have been just as good. I'm just going to center it. Well, it's not going to be exactly center, but it's going to be close, right? It's going to be close. And we'll at least get some more of this on here. I do love the little candy canes. You know, and I'm actually going to put them just right down here. Since I don't have the brown, I've got more space. So I'm just going to actually put them right down here. And that's the beauty of it all, right? It's your creation. You can do it any way you want. Any way you want. So if you don't like... Frank came over yesterday because, you know, they have other kind of candy canes between the red and white ones. I'm going like, well, my granddaughter likes red and white. So see, we just make subtle changes. Okay? Let's see here. Who do I have? Yeah, you have to watch me. I've got like several things. Hello, Sue. Hello. All right, so I can add more bling if I want to, right? We always talk about adding odd numbers, right? So in this particular case, I would go ahead and add, I'm going to add some of these little tiny ones. I think I'll put one up here because I can. And I'm putting another one up here. And I stay within the odd numbers, right? And I just have some more here. Okay, so let's go to the inside of these. All right, so if you want to look and see and compare, here's the one designed for the retreat. And here's where we got some very similar looks, but just a little bit different, right? I have to hold on this. That's going to tie my bow on. All right, and I'm going to cut that off. Just to show you how we can make just some subtle changes and make a difference, right? Okay, so let me set that aside. And this is what I did on the inside here, and this is what I'm going to do now. See how we just use those little, right? Okay, so this is just nothing more than, so we actually use two things, right? 'Tis the season for baking. So all the stamps I used today is from this here. So we've got a combination of what we got going on with other things here. So we're just going to take our little stamp here. And I'm going to start with the candy canes first. Because I want to say when I did this originally, yes, I just did a candy cane in each center. And then I turn around and I just did the gingerbread man. And I'm just going to go ahead and do them right now with you both on both cards so I don't have to do this later. So I'm just going to stamp it here. This is real red. If you want a different angle, you're going to have to use the kiss method. That's right, where you sit there and I use my silicone mat. I stamp on it. And then I turn around and put my paper on top and rub the image off. So that's how you use the kiss method to make that happen. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I am doing a senior home class today, so I really would prefer not to go there with ink all over me, red ink and this, that, and the other, but hey, if I do, they know I've been busy crafting, so right, that's what matters, having fun. All right, so let's get our gingerbread man on here, and then we will have this wrapped up. Let me find my early espresso ink. It might be on top of it. Yes. Right, I have been busy creating, so I actually had to clean up the other day because I was creating on top of creating, If you want to know what that looks like, it's a pile of paper from you creating. Cardstock, designer paper. It might be your bling and every other things too, so yeah. So then I had to go clean up because I couldn't find stuff, right? That's my sign. If I can't find stuff, then it's time to clean up. So I do reach a point where I can't do that. But even if I'm just creating and I don't have a mess going on, I still have trouble finding, right? Dimensionals. They're there all the time. That was too cute and fun. All right, so that's what we did. We just stamped this on the inside, that easy. 'Tis the season for baking. I don't know about you. I don't have kiddos at home, but families come into the house and all, I'll cook. If the kids want to cook, I'll let them cook. So I get out a banana pudding from scratch because the kiddos like doing that. And if they want cookies, I cook them. If not, my daughter and her boyfriend likes to cook sugar cookies. All right, I didn't put this one on here yet because I still need to do the bow. But you can just see the difference. We've just made some subtle changes, right? So again, if you want to see that, here we had from the retreat. So we used circles instead of the pan. And then we set up there and we just used one color here versus two, and we changed out this here. Even for the retreat, this one I used the plaid. So it doesn't matter, you can use either one, right? It's all about just making a difference. So This is part of your free class to go for October 1st through 15th. So we have one more week of gingerbread. Next week we're going to use the big gingerbread men, and we're going to do it in traditional colors. And if you are interested in this treat box, write the PDF tutorial. Then you're going to need to sign up for my newsletter as part of my 12 weeks of Christmas. We did week 1, and it'll still be available there to you, so you can get it. And this Sunday we'll do week 2. So you'll just have to wait and see till that email comes out with the PDF tutorial to see what that's going to be. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it, right? Because it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. Today I have the senior class at the assisted living place. It's home. And they're going to get some Halloween treats. So they wanted to do Halloween as well as some fall items. So I have the Halloween treat boxes for them. That'll be filled up with candy. And I'll have cards for them as well too. So with that, go out there, create, share, and give, and make a difference in someone's life. There's a lot of people at home, even maybe your neighbors or people that you know that are lonely and just need a touch, right? A touch of a gift of a card or treat holder or whatever. I would tell you during the last 5 days, I have gotten 3 cards, maybe 4. I was trying to think if I got a 4th one. I know for sure 3. And a treat box holder, right? It had a gift in it. And I have to tell you, that was so exciting for me. And I make cards all the time, right? So go out there and make a difference to somebody else too. And make their day, make their week, all right? With that, be blessed. Go out there, create, share, and give. And I thank you for supporting us not only here on Facebook, but also on YouTube and Instagram. And we actually put out a reel. Woo woo. My techie helped me do a reel over the weekend, so you'll be seeing some more reels of some things that I've made, so check it out. Be blessed. Look forward to seeing you next week, all right? We keep it simple, Stampin' Up here on Adventure Stamping. Bye.